3 years ago, I was 1 meter away from singing the last song of my life. I was returning home from a team building with 4 of my friends. It was March. The highway was covered with melted snow. And while I was listening to hip-hop, I was driving the car at a constant high speed. As we were approaching a big truck on the highway, I increased the speed to pass it by. Once we got in front, I gently pressed the brake pedal to reduce the speed, but it was enough. The snow on the highway decided to take control of the car and let me enjoy the rest of the show. We hit the right wall with the front end of the car. Then we made a 360-degree spin that could have impressed even the professional figure skaters. And barely avoiding the big truck that was coming from behind, we smashed into the guardrail. Now, luckily, no one was hurt during this demonstration. As I was sitting in the front seat of the car, contemplating the raindrops that were falling through the missing windshield, I thought, what would my friends have said about me if I died on the highway? I even imagined the headlines. High-speed egomaniac dies on highway. All he ever wanted was to be #1, but he lost the race with life. Fellow Toastmasters, what do you think people would say about you if you died right now? We are encouraged to live our lives in such a way that after we die, people will say only nice things about us. There are meditations where we are asked the question, how would you like to be remembered? What would you like people to say about you after you die? What if your death could help you send a message to the world? What would you say with your final words? Would you send a message of peace, as George Harrison of the Beatles, who said on his deathbed, "Love one another"? Would you send a leadership message, like King Louis XVIII, who was sitting in his wheelchair and with his final words said, "A king should die standing"? Would you reconcile with your enemies, as Voltaire, who was asked to forswear Satan, but with his final words said, "This is no time to make new enemies"? Or would you just send a message of love to the ones closest to your heart, as Napoleon, who whispered, "Josephine"? Or President John Adams, who said, "Thomas Jefferson"? What if your message could change the world? What is the most valuable lesson you learned during your lifetime that would be worth sharing with your dying words? Now, I learned the importance of words while working as a salesman for 3 years, during which I changed 4 jobs and 3 girlfriends. I was chasing money, recognition, and pleasure. But all I got was stress, mediocrity, and shallow relationships. On my 25th birthday, I decided to put an end to it, and I handed in the last resignation of my life. I decided to pursue my passion, public speaking. I was boasting with enthusiasm. I could do what I liked every day, and I could wake up in the morning anytime I wanted. The perfect life. 7 months later, I found myself employed in my own projects. No money, no fame, no love, because my girlfriend left me. Now, I thought that following my passion, following my calling, would bring me all the fame and fortune I desired. While my imagination gave me countless ways to end my life, I discovered my public speaking abilities came in handy when I started writing my farewell speech. Wayne Dyer said that the lowest moments of our lives reveal our true purpose. Now, during those days, two of my friends told me something that changed my life completely.
Ove, the solution is within you. Love yourself, love others, love life.
Having nothing to lose, I embraced this philosophy. I silenced my ego, I surrendered control to life, and I started helping people without asking for anything in return. What I experienced afterwards is the message I would like to share with the world, with my dying words. Follow your bliss. You will find all the happiness, abundance, and inner peace if you do what you love to do, if you help other people by doing what you love to do, and if you let life take control. Now, the great thing is we don't have to die in order to send a message that will change the world. I recently read an article about one of the survivors of Auschwitz. She arrived there when she was 15 and her brother was 8. They were on the train going to Auschwitz when she looked down and noticed that her brother's shoes were missing. So she told him, "Why are you so stupid? Can't you keep your things together for goodness sake?" It was the last thing she ever said to him, because she never saw him again. He didn't survive. When she got out of Auschwitz, she made a vow. I will never say anything that couldn't stand as the last thing I would ever say. I will never say anything that couldn't stand as the last thing I would ever say. How would you live your life? And what would you tell the people around you every day if you took that vow?